Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing another review for Bond Craftor, and we are going to do the Flix Rubber. It's the little squishy kit, and you mix it 1-to-1 by weight or volume, but we're going to mix it by weight. Okay, so let's open this up and see what all we got in our little kit. Okay, we have parts A and B of the rubber. We have a little silicone mold. It looks like a little hamster mold. I'm gonna have to clean it out. It looks like it's got a little dirt in it. We have another little mold. I'm not sure what that is. Go ahead and open it up. I'm not sure what that is, if it's a hamster or what it is, but we're going to be using it. And of course they give you cups, more of these little stir cups, which we'll be using probably. 5 different pigment pastes. It looks like a green, blue, pink, yellow, and white, which we will be using some of those. 2 cups, instructions, and gloves. It says it's non-sticky, super elastic, 1 to 2 hours demolding time, and it's non-toxic and odorless. Storage, dry and sealed. Keep sealed after opening to avoid moisture and caking. Temperature, store in a cool and dry place away from high temperature and fire source. And then it tells you where it's manufactured and all that. And here it tells you step 1, measure 1A, 1B, measure equal volume or weight of A and B in a 1-to-1 ratio. Proportional deviations can lead to curing failures. Part 2 or step 2, mixing. Mix slowly in the same direction until silky smooth and free of particles. Leave for 2 minutes to defoam naturally. Which that means defoaming. I realize that means to get the bubbles out. Let me close this box up so I can. Okay, step 3. Pouring. Pour the mixture slowly into the mold. Step 4. Waiting. 1 to 2 hours at room temperature, 25 degrees Celsius, which we go by Fahrenheit, which is 77 degrees Fahrenheit to demold. So basically room temperature. And I think I got my, because it's gotten cooler, so I've got, I think my AC set on 76, and it's still rather cool in my house. And this is really fun to do with kids. And I like this because you don't have to use the flocking powder. And that's what I love about Bond Craftor. And you can use other molds, I believe. We're more than likely we'll probably try it just to see, because I only have 2 molds here, depending on how much I mix up. It says it's got a wide application. You can do desserts, cute little animals, keychains. Oh, okay. I wonder how you do the keychains. That'd be pretty cool. And then the little hamster. See how they have the pink in the ears and all that. I'm gonna try to go for that if I can. I kind of want to make him cute. So we're gonna do that. Let me grab my gloves and we will get started on this. Let's see. I probably need to find some more molds just in case I make it too much. I really don't want to make up a whole lot though. I don't even know if this little thing, I know I gotta clean him out because he's dirty. I'm gonna spray a little alcohol on my rag here and just clean out that, whatever that stuff is in there. Because I'm gonna try to color, I'm gonna try and do him, you know, a cute little color. I don't know how well it's going to go for me, but I'm gonna try. I may have to get I may have to get out some micas though. Wondering if I put that pigment paste in there, if that won't work. I don't know. And then this little guy, I'm not really sure what he is. I just know he's something, but I don't know what. So we'll figure that out in a minute. So I'm thinking with probably both of these together, probably no more than, let's see, they don't have the half. But I do have measuring cups that do, even though I would like to use theirs, but I'm going to use one of mine because I have measuring cups that have, you know, the 1.5. That way I can do exactly what I'm wanting. Because I'm thinking it's going to be probably about, I say about 2.5 ounces, but there's no way to mix 2.5 ounces in this with this cup either. So we're going to mix up, we're going to use their cup, we're going to mix up okay, so we're going to mix ounces. I'm going to say, I may do these separate. I really don't know what this is, so I really don't know how to color him because I don't really know what he is. I wish I did. I have some of these that are already open. Granted, they're not Bond Craftor, so I want to stick with everything that, you know, they sent me in the kit, but I have some of these pigments from another squishy kit, but I don't want to use them because they were not their brand. So I want to use everything that came in this kit here. I need my little pokey tool. There it is right there. And my granddaughter's going to be really upset with me if she finds out that I made these without her, which, you know, look, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do, right? She's got so many squishies now that it's not even funny. Okay, and I need the white. Don't think I'm going to need the blue. I don't even know really why I opened the yellow. Whoops. Thought I had my apron on. Okay. So, we are gonna get this going. I'm just wondering, I don't think I could do that. I may have to do that in like a separate little cup. I don't know about his eyes. I may have to do his eyes last. But that'll be okay. We'll just do them. Alright, so I'm going to mix up about I'm going to mix up 2 ounces to start with. And if that's not enough, then I can always mix up more. Now on this, it was, I believe you do A first. If it's anything like, you know, regular silicone, you do the A first as well. These little boogers are hard to get out sometimes. Get these little things opened. Especially when you got gloves on. When you got gloves on, it really makes it hard. And I do have a discount code for you guys for Bond Craftor. So if y'all want to try out Bond Craftor, then I'll have a discount code in the link, and you can go check them out and order you some Bond Craftor products. And they're wonderful, guys. I really do like Bond Craftor. Okay, so I'm going with A first. I'm going to do 1 ounce. Oh, you know, I am doing this by weight. I could do 2.5 steel. Okay. But we're going to go 2. I would rather do 2. And like I said, I can always mix up more. I can mix up, you know, like a 1/2 ounce or whatever. Or even 1 ounce. I'm pretty sure I can find something to put in it. I do have all kinds of molds. And I mean all kinds of molds sitting around, so that's not a problem. And I'm going to wipe this off. Okay. And I'm going to put the lid on A. Alright, so we got 1 ounce. Now we're going to tear it out, put our cup back, tear it out again, and we're going to go 1 ounce with B. And you don't want to go over, so you want to go kind of slow. Okay, there you go. There's 2 ounces. Now I'm going to put the lid on that. I'm going to move this out of my way since we're not using it. Move that out of my way so I can get under the camera. Just mix slowly in one direction. Okay, so when you mix it, you just want to mix in one direction. And you want to mix slow until it's silky smooth. And I'm going to have to stand up for this so I can see what I'm doing here. Because y'all are, I'm having to put it way up here. And I should have got a big stir stick. And then once we get it mixed up, we'll let it sit to defoam. And kids really love to do this stuff, guys. And it's non-toxic, so it won't hurt them if they get it on their skin or anything like that. So these are really good to make with, you know, your grandkids or your kids, you know, and they love them. My granddaughter loves these things. I'm glad they finally, you know, started coming out with these kits, because before, when, you know, they started selling them in the stores, it was like every time you went into a store, she wanted one. And so I'm really glad that I thought I did see a pet hair right there. So I'm really glad that they started selling the kits, you know, that you can make yourself, because these things get kind of expensive when you going out and buying them all the time just for them to tear them up. Okay, now that's pretty smooth and it's pretty silky. I'll stir it for a little bit more. I want to make sure I'm scraping them sides real good. But yeah, kids love this stuff. What they like to squish them, and it's just a stress reliever for them. Especially if they, you know, if your kids, you know, have a lot of stress or whatever, it's really good for them. I know my granddaughter, she gets stressed, you know, and irritated real easy. And these little things here seem to help her a lot. But But I'm going to sit here and let it defoam for a little bit before we pour that in there. I'm going to go ahead and get some of these little cups here together. I think his little eyes I'm going to have to paint on after the fact. I wished I knew what this was, because I know he's got a little nose and he's got eyes and he's got a little tail. I wonder if it's one of them what are they, capybaras? I don't know how you pronounce it, but yeah, these little cups right here, they come in handy when you just want a little bit. The only thing is, I can never get them apart though. I have the hardest time sometimes getting these things apart. But if you just got just a little bit like I'm going to have for the pink, then they come in pretty handy. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pour some of this in here. I don't need much. Do need pink, and I may do a little bit of yellow. I don't really know what this thing is gonna be, so I'm just gonna kind of decorate it, you know, just a little bit, not, you know, nothing too crazy. Now this is gonna get the white. Ooh, I forget how small these little containers are when I go to start stirring. And that's probably way too much white, but I want it pretty opaque, so I'm gonna make this as opaque as I can get it. Definitely have that stuff all over my hands. I know I need to be under the camera. I'm gonna go ahead and stir this up real good and then let it defoam. I really should have got a smaller cup so I could get my stick down in there good. But then I generally don't use these size sticks either. I generally use the bigger sticks. Okay, so I'm gonna let that go ahead and defoam right there. And then I'm gonna get this. Okay, and I'm gonna add me a little bit of pink. And I don't want a whole lot of pink, I just want a little bit of pink. I don't need much. I'm just getting just a dab of pink. And I'm going to put that in this one. because I'm going to attempt to get that in his eyeballs, but I don't know how well that's going to go for me. But that's what I'm attempting. And then for the yellow, I think I'm going to do a little bit of yellow. I was really trying to make like a peachy color. I don't know how to make that color. So I'm just going to try to make a color that I can maybe try to make. We're going to see. Don't know how well this is going to go, but I'm going to try it. And then I'm going to add a little bit of pink and see what color I come up with here, because I'm looking for a peachy color. And I think I made it, guys. But I want to tone it down a little bit, so I'm going to add just a touch of white in here. And I need some of this white because that's not enough peach. So I'll just add a little bit of this white in here. Kind of tone it down a little bit. Okay. Now, what I'm going to see that I can do here, I may go ahead and pour this little guy first. Since I don't have anything really going in him other than this little orange color here and white, because I don't really know what he is. So I'm going to start I really would like to have his eyes some kind of color. You know what? I'm going to try. I think I'm going to mess up, though. No, I better not do that. I was going to put some of this in his eye, in his little eyes, but yeah, I think I'll color that after the fact. But I am going to kind of pour this, and you got to pour it really slow, guys, to let it kind of degas. Just pour real slow. Let me get up here in front of the camera so you guys can see me a little better. Make sure you're getting all them little nooks and crannies. Make sure it's in the eyeballs real good, because you don't. Here, I'm going to pour the peach, because I want the peach up here around his face. I should have poured this first, but let me put a little bit on his body. I don't know that you're going to see that now. I probably should have done that first, but I'm hoping this is going to make it go sink down in there. And this little guy right here held exactly 2 ounces, guys. So that means that that little dude, my little other one here, is going to hold about probably the same amount, if not a little more. I wonder if you could put, you know, gold, the gold in them. You know what I'm talking about? The gold flakes. Okay, so I'm going to try to get this pink down in his little ear. Oh, I didn't want it on his face. And I wanted a little white in there. I might be able to clean that up a little bit. I'm going to try to clean some of it up because I don't want it all. I didn't want that pink in his face. I just kind of wanted it in his little ear. His little ears. I mean, if there's a little pink, I'm not going to stress over it, but okay, now I'm going to let me get me a bigger scooper here and see if I can't scoop out. You know, let me see if I can add this in without changing it too much, but just giving it like a little hint of something, because I don't want to waste it. I hope I didn't just ruin it, because I mean, I really don't want to waste I don't want to waste it. He'll be just a little peachy color, but it'll be okay. I could have added a little bit more white, but my daughter's dogs and they're barking. She went outside and left her in. It's like this dog. But this stuff is so easy, guys. So easy to make. And I really appreciate Bond Craftor sending this to me to try out. Because I haven't tried their squishy kit. I have tried their actual silicone before. But I've never tried their squishy kit. And it looks like I am going to have to mix up a little bit more, but that's okay. Now, I don't know about mixing it in the same cup. So, I'm just going to toss this little cup here. Oop, stand back up there, big boy. And then I'll just get another one because I don't know about using that same cup. And I'm only going to do an ounce in this go round because I don't think I'm going to need much more than that. I hope not. Anyway, And I still got pink that I got to get down in his little feet. And I'm hoping that don't cure before I get the rest of it mixed up. Okay. I'm wondering if an ounce is going to do it, though. I don't think it's gonna. I don't think an ounce is going to be enough. But I hate to overmix. It might be enough, though. Well, I'm measuring by weight, so I can, as long as I got equal numbers, I'm just going to go with what I think. And I think that's going to do it, really. Honestly, I do. I think a half an ounce, I mean, not a half an ounce, but an ounce is going to do the trick, I hope. By the time I pour B in, let's hope so. If not, I'm going to be mixing up some more. I just don't like wasting, you know. And I know I've got this pink over here that I got to do his toes in. And then his eyes, I'll have to do after because I don't have anything to. Okay. Yeah, I think an ounce is going to do it, guys. Looking at it now, I think so. And hopefully it'll cut down on that peachy color quite a bit. Let me get my big stir stick here. Okay. We're just going to mix till creamy and silky. And then I'm going to put the white in and then let it defoam real good. And then then we'll be done till time to demold, and then I'll come back in a couple of hours and we'll demold it and see what it's all about. But I really do like the fact that you don't have to use the flocking powder. That stuff makes a mess, and then your little characters don't come out the way that you want them to, because you got flocking powder in them, and they just. And I am mixing a little bit faster than what I should be. But it's gonna defoam on its own. And you'll see the bubbles going away just on their own. But here I was just because I've got this other, but y'all seen how that defoamed really, really good. So I'm just trying to get the paste in here without it. I don't think I need that much paste in here. And always make sure you clean your stick off real good before you put it in your paste, because if you don't, it's gonna gum up, because you got that rubber on your stick and you put it in your paste and it'll gum it up. So just make sure you got your stick cleaned off really, really good. And then once I get this pigment mixed up, I'll sit there and let it sit for a few minutes and degas on its own. And then I'll have one more video for Bond Craftor. And the next video will be silicone, which we'll be pouring a mold, which I'm super excited about. I haven't poured a mold and it's been a while since I've poured a mold. Okay. But right now it's all about squishies. And I'm dying to see what this little guy here is. I know what this one is. This is the little hamster. And I have a hamster mold that I bought off of Amazon, I think. Just because I wanted the little the little hamster just to pour resin. So that's the only reason why I bought it. Because before you couldn't get them except for in the squishies. But these little hamsters are so stinking cute. And it's really cute how they color them. You know, how they got like the little peachy face, and how they do that, I don't know. I'm trying to mimic it a little bit, but I just don't know that I'm gonna get there. And see how it just defoamed pretty much on its own? And it will. So you just continue to pour up high. I'm going to probably prop something up against this because I don't want that thing falling. So just pour from up tall and up high. Please be enough. Oh, are you stinking kidding me? See, I knew I should have went more than that. I knew I should have. Even though I still have the pink over here, because I was going to do the pink in his toes, but I've got to get up to his toes first before I can do that. This mold, I will tell you, I'm not gonna like, for sure. It's very unstable. So, and this is my opinion. You know, I feel like the mold could be better. Because it is kind of a little heavy on one side than it is on the other, and it falls over real easy. So definitely need to rethink the mold. Okay, I'm just gonna clean this out. Actually, I don't think it's gonna hurt anything. Okay, I'm gonna mix up a little bit more in here real quick, because that still was not enough. But yeah, this mold I think needs to be a little bit stronger. Okay, so I went a little over what I wanted to do, but it's okay. See, because of how you got all this extra here, and so it's very, very unstable. I'm gonna put this, I'm gonna sandwich something between here so it'll stand, because it's not standing on its own, so I'm gonna have to find something to put all around it to keep it standing. So yeah, Bond Craftor, if you will, think about redoing the mold. Because it doesn't want to stand up. It wants to keep falling over. So I feel like that the mold would be good if it was, you know, done a little different, or maybe even a little wider or something. But it definitely needs to be redone, because it does fall over. It's too top heavy. Um, but yeah, other than that, I think it would be a great little mold. Um, it's just, and I don't know if it's because of all this excess on the outside and it's so small underneath, and then the little um thing that it sits on, the support, is about this small. And I'll show you when I demold it, but yeah, it's very tiny, so it needs to definitely be, the mold needs to definitely be redone, guys. Okay, we'll put a little bit of white in here. And I know I mixed up a little too much this time, but it's okay. I may pop it in one of these other molds over here that I have. I'm just going to go ahead and stir this up real good and then let it degas. for a few minutes while I'm looking for stuff to prop this mold up so it doesn't fall over. I think it's only going to fall over on that one side, but I want to make sure that it's only falling over on that one side. Alright, I'm going to sit there and let that degas for just a minute. Put the lid back on this. Okay. Let me move this over so I can let you guys watch. I'm just trying to be very gentle with this little mold because I don't want it falling over on me. And I just feel like it's gonna fall over. I'll put this around it. Yeah, sometimes you have to, you know, with these little molds, you have to kind of sandwich them, because he's just a little top heavy on the top. But I mean, we got him propped up. He's good to go. But I mean, there's always a fix. But if we can get them to you know, kind of refigure the mold, then, you know, we won't have to go through this little process here. And it looks like it's almost time for the pink. So I'm going to get that poured in here in a minute. Hopefully I can get that poured in as little beatsies. Okay, and you see how good that the bubbles came out? And I know I have a lot poured. So I'm going to pour slowly because I've got his little tootsies coming up. And I want to get the pink, and I think I just poured too much of that. And this is going to be hard trying to get that pink in there. I'm not no way going to get that pink in there. That's just not going to happen with that. So I'm just going to, I'll pour it here. And I'll save a little bit for maybe another mold that I'm going to use. And then we'll just go ahead and top him off a little bit. I don't really know what this other layer is here, but I'm going to go over the top of it because I feel like it's kind of part of him, but I'm not really sure if it is or not. I feel like I just made a bad decision. Yeah, I feel like I just made a really bad decision. And I think it's just because of the way the mold dips down too, is another reason why it's doing it's doing what it's doing. Because I feel like that's part of it. But it's just this mold. And I don't want to keep wasting those. Let me grab some cheap paper towels here because I don't want to clean this up because I don't want to keep wasting my good rags. But yeah, I feel like that how this dips, it needs to be up, but it's on a really small base, and I feel like it needs to be a little bit wider. And I don't know if I could prop maybe a cup or something under this. I think that would be too much. See, that cup's too tall. Let's see. I'm trying to fix the problem, guys. Let's do a little more. Because I feel like it. And I'm shaking because I'm trying not to spill any of it out of there or knock that over. And then these little cups are not easy to get apart. But I'm trying to prop that. Trying to prop that up to where it will, that silicone will stay lifted, you know, because it definitely needs to stay lifted up like that. But yeah, I will definitely let them know that the mold needs to be kind of rethought for sure. Because I feel like that this is still part of the mold, but with it dipping down the way it does. I mean, even though I fixed it, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I did fix it, so it's, you know, it's fine. It is what it is. And these, I think I will pour some of these and just make a little keychain. And hope that it doesn't do anything to my mold, is what I'm hoping. And I don't know how well that's going to stay on there. I don't think it is. I think I need to let it sit just a tad bit longer so it will sit. Or maybe pour less on it. And watch me pour that, and then I don't have enough for both of them. If I don't, I'll just clean it out. It's no big deal. And I don't think I have to make it as full as what it's supposed to be either. I'll rob from Peter over here to pay Paul because it's coming out anyway, so. It's ooey gooing out anyway. And I have some little silicone tools, but I'm afraid to use them with this stuff because I don't know if it'll, like, you know, stick to my silicone tools that I could potentially get my cup a little cleaner and get all of it out, but I don't know if it will stick. That's my only fear, is that it will stick to my silicone tools and I won't get it out. But that's okay because we got it right here, so it's no big deal. It's a wrap. We did it. And then I will take this little bit of pink and I'll just marble this in with and we'll just make that one a polka dotted ghost. And then I'll get this mess cleaned up. And then I'll just make little keychains out of these. I am going to kind of move this one around just a little bit because I wanted this one kind of marbled in here. Okay. All right, guys. That is it. We just wait now for demold. And I will be back in a couple of hours because it says 1 to 2 hours. So I'll keep kind of checking it and, you know, kind of keeping an eye on it and checking it to make sure that, you know, everything's fine with it. But all right, guys, I will see y'all in about 2 hours. See you then. Okay, time to demold, guys. Now remember that we are doing the Bond Craftor, and it's the Flix rubber, part A and part B. We mixed together, and then we mixed in the colorants. I'm really wanting to see what this is, so I'm going to go ahead and demold this first. You kind of just got to pull it like this when you go to pull it apart. It's not like, you know, resin where you pull it and then it comes loose. You've got to make it come loose. Oh, how cute! It looks like a bear. A little sleeping bear. How cute! And I did get the peach swirled in there, but not really the way I wanted it. And that right there's a little bit of unmixed of the colorant, but it's okay. But you see how they're not sticky at all, really. I mean, they're going to stick a little bit to your hands, and that's just really that stuff coming out of there, my unmixed powder or colorant that I had, which is what I want. I want to get that out anyway. But by the time my grandkid gets here, it's all going to be. But yeah, you can stretch them and squish them, and but these I like them because you don't have to put the flocking powder. So if I was to put the powder on here, it wouldn't even be this color, you know. So that's what I like about that. But you just, you know, gently, you know, kind of pull at them like that, and then they just pop right out. And then there's the little ghost. Those were just extras, so I'm not really too worried about how these here look. That mold was a little dirty when I was trying to pour it, and they're gonna be for her anyway. So now this was the hamster mold. Remember how I told you, see how small this is and how fat he is? There's too much to him to be able to you know, go around that. So that's why I said that I wish, you know, I want Bond Craftor to come up with a better alternative for this mold than what's there, because it's too top heavy, and really that's the only, and it's not really that much of a complaint, I don't guess, but it just kind of needs to be either restructured a different way, or I don't know. I don't know how they need to do it, but I mean, surely they, you know, they'll be the ones to figure that out. But it definitely needs to be reconfigured. And I love their products. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love their products, and I'm almost positive this. Okay, so that's going to be, so that right there really was not part of the mold. So that was not really needed. And this here may need to be, this may need to sit a little bit longer, because I know the outside of that still feels a little gooey, but we're going to see what the inside feels like, if it'll come out. If it comes out, then it was set. This one may be a little booger getting out. I don't know. There he goes. Oh, don't rip his ears. Oh, how cute. And he did. He turned out cute. He is still a little wet. He's not completely cured, so I'm going to let him cure and finish curing. But I like the way he turned out, though. I figured I should have let him sit a little bit longer, because of him being so thick. But I mean, I'd let it sit for like 5 hours. So I figured it was already set, and it's about 77, 78 degrees in here from what let me see. Yeah, my thermometer's showing 77. Well, 77.2, whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's still, it came out, he turned out really good, though. He's just not completely cured all the way. So I'll let him just sit overnight, and he will be cured and done, and then he'll be just like these little guys. And they're just as squishy as, and you can hold them in your hand. You can play with them, stretch them, and some people put things, like beads or whatever, little different gadgets and things inside of them. I didn't do that, because I was just, I was basically just showing the product. But yeah, they turned out really good. And like I said, I'm going to let him dry a little bit longer. Because you can see right there, he's kind of not cured all the way yet. So I want him to cure more. In fact, I may set him on this so he can, if his little fat self don't fall over. But yeah, super cute. And I love the way he turned out. I mean, he turned out really, really cute. His little head, even his little pink there. No, I was trying to get it in his feet, but didn't quite work. But once he dries, I'm going to try to put maybe some black eyes, if I can find something. I'm almost positive that, and I know that markers does not work, so they wipe off, so there's no point in doing that. If I can't find some kind of little flat bead or something to put in his eyes, then they'll just stay this way. And then the next time I do them, I'll actually do maybe some mica powder or something in the eyes to make them black. But I wished I had like the little plastic things like they have right here, to put in them, because that would have been super cute to put to put into the eyes. But yep, it is the Bond Craftor Flix Rubber, parts A and B. And that's what we did. All right, guys. Well, that's it for this video. I will see you in the next one. Until then, be happy, be safe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.